Adhocracy News, February 20th, 2017. Today's top stories.
Somebody's watching me.
Bye-bye, 30-second commercials.
And fake news, real movie.
Hello, I'm JD Melville.
And I'm David Landeen, and welcome to Adhocracy News, where every week you can come here for last week's best news of advertising, marketing, art, and design.
And we want to thank you if you have been watching with us. Thank you for joining us again. We really appreciate it. If you are here for the first time, click the subscribe button below. That'll let you know when we have new shows. That's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Now, today's top stories are, number one, with new markets come interesting dilemmas.
Yeah. So now, as new and inventive ideas come out, new apps, new market-breaking ideas, we kind of accept them and adopt them pretty quickly. But one of the things that we don't really know is what their effect will be and if they are covered under law.
Yeah, recently, a lot of the new industries that have come up, such as Airbnb, HomeAway, VRBO, AAA, like those type of industries have had issues dealing with security versus privacy.
Yeah, I mean, as a homeowner, and if I'm renting out my house to someone, I would want to make sure that they treat my house appropriately. But as a renter, I also want my privacy to be respected. Now, there have been a couple reports and actually a lawsuit out there of some of these homeowners actually putting cameras into their homes, into their rental properties.
Yeah, so there have been cameras found, and now who governs this? The governing body is kind of vague. Nobody really knows what jurisdiction or laws this falls under. Yeah. Because how do you do this? Like, you want to make sure nothing gets stolen from your house, but you at the same time, like, you want to preserve privacy.
Yeah, I mean, there are laws in place for different things, but sometimes it comes down to a city, like a state or even a city level to really go to the governing. Of course, a lot of laws will kind of mention, okay, in a place that is reasonably needed privacy, for example, a bedroom or a bathroom, you cannot record. A pool is also sometimes included in that. So a living room may be a little bit more of a gray area. But being that this is a whole new kind of region, a whole new group of companies, these kind of things, may not be covered under the law.
Yeah, but we do know that anything that would be used for blackmail or malicious intent is illegal. So that's pretty standard. But still, it's something that's going to be interesting to watch as we move forward in the industry and as these businesses keep growing and popping up in more places.
Yeah, I mean, definitely something as new technology comes on, as new things are brought to our world, these are things that need to be thought about by lawmakers, by the companies that actually work with them.
Our next story, now, at the beginning of this video, you probably saw an ad.
Yeah, you probably saw one that you may have been able to skip it after 6 seconds. You may have had to watch an entire video. Now,
whether you were able to skip it, whether you were unable to, and we've already covered the 6-second ads that Google is doing for YouTube, but they recently announced that they would be eliminating their 30-second unskippable ads.
Yeah, Google and YouTube definitely want to make sure that they kind of play that balance between people continually wanting to watch a video, as well as their viewers, and their advertisers kind of getting that message across, kind of having that revenue, the ad revenue.
Now, I love YouTube. I'm one that obviously we are on YouTube. We love YouTube. We love the YouTube ads because they, make us a few pennies. But I was actually really excited about this idea of eliminating 30-second ads because I feel like they are so long. I want to get to my video. I don't want to watch a 30-second ad, but they're going to keep their 20-second unskippable ads.
Yeah, and I'm sure that in Google and YouTube's analytics, they're looking at when people are dropping off. So if I went to a video to watch it and I completely drop off the video entirely because an ad is too long, I'd probably be looking at that as well.
Yeah, we'd like to take this time to thank you for not using an ad blocker and watching the ads at the beginning of our videos. Because if you're interested in marketing, you should be watching those ads.
And now, being that they're cutting the 30-second commercial, this also, I think, in a good way, would push companies that create ads to make sure that their content that they create for these ads aren't just a repurposed commercial. I mean, a lot of times we see a commercial that was made for TV, and then it's just ported right over to a YouTube commercial.
Yeah, or even further than that, one that was made for TV that is on Spotify streaming, where you're not even watching, you don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, it says click this ad to view, and boop, you're clicking it. But
Yeah.
all I hear is music. I never hear a name. I never hear what they're selling. I never hear anything like that.
So make sure the ad that you're making works with the platform you're making it for. So story number 3 is about how, once again, Disney does it right.
Yes, they do. I mean, we've all been watching Marvel. We've all kind of had our eye on Marvel, and they do a lot of things right.
And Marvel has been going on for a really long time. It seems like forever ago that the first Iron Man came out, and now we're finally getting Avengers Infinity War in a year or so. But they did release a teaser for the first day of production and are starting their marketing this early, talking about past movies, talking about what movies in this phase 2 have been. And I mean, one part that's really cool is you have the guy who plays Spider-Man say, I went to the first Avengers movie with my buddies.
I never would have thought that I would have been part of this. That's really cool. I mean, that they've brought in, they're teasing it. I mean, it's a year away.
Yeah.
A year can take a long time, but this, I mean, I'm feeling like I'm more a part of what's going on, right? I'm seeing these actors starting their day and also talking about why they did what they're doing and kind of building a story up to what Infinity Wars will be.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the things that's really cool is that if you watched before Civil War, they came out with what Thor had been doing during the time that because he was kind of gone. He wasn't in the Civil War. He wasn't.
No, he'd been off doing his own thing, and so they made a little video about it. He's been in Australia with his flatmate Daryl, and it's been a tough adjustment for Thor. It's hard.
He's feeling left out and trying to get in.
He's not mad. He's not mad.
He's not mad, but he's wanting to be a part of something.
He even wrote an electronic mail to Captain America, to Steve Rogers.
And so with this new one, they actually released a part 2 of
Thor and Daryl.
Which
I love it. I love this marketing that they're doing. That it doesn't tie into a movie. It's not promoting a movie, but it's just keeping in mind that there's these characters and here's something. I mean, really, really interesting way of marketing a movie.
Yeah, one of the things I think Marvel does so incredibly well is humor. I think the humor that they include both in the movies and outside of that, I think it covers up a myriad of sin in movies. I mean,
they don't take themselves too serious.
Yeah. I mean, they are superheroes, but if they're living in our world, there's things going on in our world. That is going to make their life seem kind of odd, right?
So those were 2 great marketing spots that Marvel was released this last week.
Now, through this election campaign, we came up with something new to us, what is known as fake news. Fake news being news that is being spread, people who are fabricating a story to sway someone one way or another, with no basis at all.
Yeah, just coming up with something to get your point across. Whether it's true or not doesn't matter. It's just the way that you want to be your position.
And really, on social media, how many times do you go in and check what the sources are? How many times do you check that the site that you're on is really reliable? Well, a lot of companies after this election, a lot of tech companies, Facebook and others, have really decided to crack down on fake news.
Yeah.
But there is a company out there who has been embracing fake news.
That is Fox News.
Yeah.
which
Well, Fox the...
Oh, Fox. Sorry, not Fox News. No, not Fox News. But Fox has actually put a part on their site for fake news. But they partnered with Cure for Wellness. Now, we talked about this Super Bowl ad that Cure for Wellness did, where it started off as if it were a commercial for a pharmaceutical drug, and then transitioned into a teaser about the Cure for Wellness, the movie trailer.
Yeah, it was definitely one that we enjoyed, and Fox producing this, they set out to kind of create a campaign that sort of paralleled the idea of fake news and this Cure for Wellness. The idea being, okay, this Cure for Wellness is a piece of a cure that is supposed to make you better, but in reality, it makes you...
Bad for you. It's actually bad.
It's bad for you, just like fake news, where it's something that's supposed to inform you, but really it's leading you astray.
Yeah.
And so their campaign, I think for one, it was a really ingenious way of kind of bringing those things together. But in a time where this fake news is somewhat of a plight on our society, it wasn't taken well.
Kind of a bad timing issue that they had. Very creative idea and forward-thinking idea, but with the timing and the political landscape that we live in, it just did not work. And they ended up having to apologize, originally defending their choices, but in the end having to issue an apology for promoting fake news. And I'm not really sure what they could have done better, but I salute them for creativity, but understand why it didn't work.
Yeah. And speaking of fake news and fact-checking, the site for fact-checking and for myths and knowing if anything is real or false, Snopes has actually gone through a redesign.
Which was really, really needed.
I swear it went back to like early 90s design last time I had seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably, I don't know, it was a pretty old-looking, dated site. And especially for a site that should be a trusted source for fact-checking or for finding out if something's true or false, it definitely needed a little update there.
Yeah, and their site actually has a very news-like feel to it. They have banner stories. They have the top 50 things that are trending. You've got things that have really made it so that, if you come to the site, you could really drill down and lose some time checking out what is real and what is fake. But even with that, they have also started creating videos on these things to kind of deliver up some of this kind of video content because, of course, everything is jumping to video today.
Yeah, which is why we're here. So go check out Snopes.com, and it's a great redesign. It definitely looks like a news site, which I think personally is brilliant, especially for we live in a place where news is constantly being questioned, and so if you can create a news site that isn't questioned and both sides look at it as being trusted, they have a potential to fill a very important niche that's out there right now.
So what news stories did you see this last week that we can cover in our next week? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to our videos.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can actually, if you see a cool story, send it over to us on Facebook or Twitter, and we will try and include it in next week's Adhocracy News.
Yeah, and of course, to begin your week, we have a video for you.
I was pretty happy. Anyway, so I needed some me time, and I came to Australia, and that's when I moved in with Daryl.
Hello.
And here we are.